Next, I'd like to discuss a bit about dots. Sometimes you'll have a note and there'll be a little dot beside it. What that dot indicates, it indicates that the note is going to be held longer. So if I have a quarter note on beat 1, it has a dot there. Normally, the quarter note would last to beat 2. And then it doesn't matter what is on beat 2. You can have a 64th note, but it will not start till beat 2. So if I have a dotted quarter note on beat 1, the dot increases the note value by half. Now I wonder if you can remember what would be half of a quarter note. You want to go to a smaller note value because you want half the speed or half the percentage. It would be an eighth note. So when you see a dotted quarter, that actually indicates it's a quarter plus an eighth note. So therefore, your next note, doesn't matter what it is, if your dotted quarter is on 1, your next note is going to be on the and of 2. Because the quarter note moves it over to 2, then the dot, which is equal to an eighth note, half of the quarter note, moves it over to the and. So now you have a dotted quarter note on 1, and your next note will be on the and of 2. What I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to play a dotted quarter note, eighth note pattern. Because now we have an eighth note on and the next note, doesn't matter what it is, it could be 32nd note triplets, 16ths, whatever, won't start till beat 3. So I'm going to play you dotted quarter, eighth, dotted quarter, eighth. It'll sound like this. Now, sometimes you'll see two dots. Don't see it that often. I just want you to be aware of it if you see it so you're not confused by it. The second dot does the same function as the first dot. It will increase the note value by half, but it doesn't increase the initial note value by half. It increases the first dot by half. So what's going to happen is you have your quarter note with a dot, which increases the quarter note by half. Half of the quarter note is an eighth note. Now if you have another dot beside that dot, it'll increase the first dot by half. So that second dot actually has a note value of a 16th. So if you have double dots, your next note value, doesn't matter what it is, if you had a double dotted quarter note on beat 1, your next note would start on the of 2. It gets a little bit confusing. I don't see it that often, but every once in a while it pops up. So just keep in mind a double dot does the same thing, but it increases the dot prior, not the original note value.